Are you a bubble tint enthusiast? Well, I know for certain that I'm not, so I've got good news for you today, if you can relate. Today we're going to be taking the tint off my 350Z. Now if you'll take a dive to the inside of the window with me, you'll notice here, that's an issue. And then have a stroll around back. What the heck is going on there? More bubbles than a fish tank. So, gotta pull her outside and give you the breakdown of what you're gonna need to get this done for yourself. Alright, so let's get into materials that you're going to need to do this job. Obviously, first step, you need some windows to untint, so we've got those. Next up, you're going to need a super badass and manly heat gun and something to plug it into, in my case, extension cord. And then also, we might or might not need this, but you're going to probably want an X-Acto or a razor blade or something to get the edge of the tint up. And then hopefully, if all goes right, we won't have to use this, but also got some adhesive remover on deck, just in case. Another little helpful tidbit of advice that I can give you is that if you have the opportunity, probably aim to do this on a pretty warm day, because then it'll kind of negate your use of the heat gun, or you won't have to use it as much. And looking at the forecast right now, looks like we're pretty good on heat. Gotta stay hydrated too. So, let's get down to business here, shall we? I'm going to start with this rear window here because it is by far and away the most screwed up out of all of them. So I hear in some cars it's easier to just take off your rear interior parts, but apparently looking at my tint job here, that won't be an issue. One thing that you really want to avoid with these little black dots is if you don't get the tint to come off clean, it'll leave little bits of adhesive in between them and it's a pain in the butt to get out. So you're going to make sure you want to apply good amount of heat so you can get that up with no problem. Grab our materials here. It's actually a burnt titanium from Infinity. Don't fact check me on that. I'm gonna put this on warm. Don't want to melt the tint. Let's see here. Power. That should do us just fine, I think. And I'm gonna eat my words here. There we go. This will just make things a little bit easier. Oh, side note, ordered a new one of these bad boys that's actually white because I'm not a fan of the mismatched look, shall I say. Okay, let's get going here. So you just want to get it nice and warm, not too warm though. Let's see if that did the trick. We need to get an edge up here. There we go. Another thing you want to be really careful of is these little filament lines here. You don't want to rip those up. Ooh, okay. Not exactly how I was hoping this would go. I was hoping this would all come off in one piece, but I guess we can work sections just fine. Oh, no. So that right there is exactly what you don't want to happen. But as far as the adhesive goes, we're getting it off good. Alright, so things are starting to play a little bit nicer up here. I'm getting to just walk this down this line, not leaving any adhesive behind. But I am running into some issues over here. I don't know if you can really tell. Tiny little bit right there that didn't really want to stick with the rest. So right now I think I'm just going to keep working the heat this way, keep pulling this off, just being patient. Well, all things considered so far, this is going pretty good. I've got a couple of stragglers up here that I'm going to have to touch up with the blade here in a second, but otherwise this is coming off in one pretty good sheet. I'm just keeping the heat on it and peeling it back slowly. Patience is key. just like that. If you ever wondered what window tint looked like off the car, there you go. Not that exciting. Very good. Rear window down. Looking pretty good aside from those spots. Clean those up and we'll be done though. There we go. Whew. Good Lord, am I sweaty. Seeing a couple spots on here that I'm going to touch up with the good old Goo Gone. Then we're going to work on the go to work on the front windows there, which I've got to be honest is probably the part that I'm more scared about than this one. Before you ask, yes, I am aware that I'm not putting that back in whenever I close the hatch. My passenger door handle on the outside is actually broken. Oh, so we're going to use some clever engineering to keep that open. There we go. Alrighty, let's get down to business here. That should stay open. You know how Z's are with their self-closing doors though, so stick that there as an extra precaution. Think I still got it? Oh yeah, I'm like that. Okay, so here we are on the window on the door, and this is basically same story, different day type thing. But the thing is whenever they tint the windows, there's usually a little bit, you can kind of see it here. The tint goes down just a tiny bit below this line here. So the only thing to really stress about with these front windows is making sure that you get this heated up enough to where it comes out nice, it doesn't rip off down there, because if that gets stuck down there, then not gonna have a fun time. And that kind of defeats my purpose of doing this, because the reason I'm doing this myself is because my window tint shop said that they were going to charge me like, shoot, I don't know. It was something stupid. Couple $100 just to take the tint off. I'm like, seriously, I can do that at my house. So here we are. But anyways, let's try and attack this corner up here. Nice and smooth peel all the way off, hopefully, and let's just get to it. I already took a tiny peek at the back of this thing, what the hatch looks like with no tint. This thing is going to be such a fishbowl. There we go. Alright, so that's what we wanted. Going good so far. Let's see how this is going to want to peel. See if it's going to be friendly or not. The answer is no. That's what you don't want to see right there, is that little bit of adhesive that's sticking behind, but I think that might just be this area of the tint. Let's see. The good old X-Acto to work. Maybe I should follow my own rules here and put a little bit of heat on this. I'm burning my fingers. Alright, no more of that. Okay, so this window is proving to put up quite the fight, it would appear. I'm just going to have to go through with the X-Acto and the Goo Gone, get all that shit off. See here though. You want to be nice? Okay. It's not the worst. How about you? Yeah, we're leaving some adhesive. It's okay though. I need you to come up though. Another thing, you want to check your angle of attack with your knife here, or your razor blade or X-Acto, so you're not scratching the piss out of your glass. Because that would not be good. Alright, there we go. I need you all to cooperate, if that would work. No? There we go. Okay. Things are looking up for us. Whew, yeah, this one right here. This one you can definitely tell has a little bit more stick to it than the back window, because this thing not only stinks like adhesive whenever it gets heated up, but it's also quite a bit harder to pull off. Ah, come off. So I've got some mildly good and mildly bad news. Bad news is that that is going to suck to clean, but the The tint is coming off from underneath here pretty smooth. Might be leaving a little bit of adhesive, but I think that's not really that huge of an issue as long as the tint is not ripping and sticking down there. So overall I'm happy, but I'm just gonna power through this window and then I'll check back in whenever it's done. Well, you know, not my proudest work, but got the job done. Things got a little shisty here towards the end. I was getting real hot holding that stupid blower trying to get the adhesive to not stick, but good news is that the damage down here is not too bad. I think that for the most part we avoided getting any adhesive down below the trim line there, so I'm gonna take a quick break because it is like hot as nuts out here, but then gonna gum pack, gonna hit this window right here, and then we'll move on to the other side, and then after that I'll hit everything with some adhesive remover and we'll be done. Now this right here, this is gonna suck. I have no idea if I'm gonna get my blade in there and like be able to control what's happening. I'm probably gonna have to lean the seat up and do some gymnastics to get in there, but I guess until then let's just let's get the cooking, eh? Try not to stab myself while I do this. That would be really cool. I'm already off to a bad start. Okay, there we go. Oh, souvenir. All right, let's see here. Who wants to be the lucky piece of tint that decides to come up? It sucks because there's like literally nowhere to get a blade in. There we go, okay. Well, that's something. Keep my sweat all over there. That's nice. Come on. There we go. All right. So, the way it looks, we're going to be using lots of Goo Gone on this. That's okay. And a little breeze just kicked in, even better. Okay. Good news is it doesn't look like there's much adhesive sticking where the little black circles are, which is what we want to avoid. I can get all this stuff off. It's just going to be a pain. Okay, that should be good. Well, that is officially the foggiest quarter window I've ever seen, so that's going to be awesome to clean. But hey, we got it done. Now we got to do it again. Just for reference here, here's how I'm sitting. One leg in the car, one leg out. Sweating like crazy. You know, I'm not going to say my setup for the other side was bad, but I got the job done, so. Here we go. This side is significantly less comfortable, I must say. I also have bad knees, so this is not really doing me any favors. There we go. That right there is what we were looking for. Yes. Awesome. That makes things a little bit easier, I guess. Well, it looks like the results on this side are a little bit better than the other side. Results may vary, I guess. That was definitely a lot easier than the other side. Alright, time to do this bad boy. Hit everything with some adhesive, and then I'm going to take a shower. Well, as you can see, this side was not quite as nice to me as the other side was. And then at about right here, I was like, you know what, I'm peeling this back, it's leaving so much residue, I'm just going to start yanking the crap out of it, and I did. And it actually did not work that bad. So, we're full fishbowl now. Just gotta get all the adhesive off the windows, or what's left of it, then we should be good to go. Well, off camera, I had to run to Walmart and grab some razor blades because there's actually way more adhesive on these windows than I thought there was. It was like, basically just the whole window was covered in adhesive, but just some less than other parts. They're still a little streaky in spots, but in my opinion, oh gosh. Hola. Yeah, but in my opinion, it's honestly, it kind of looks clean. The clear windows. The back window really was not bad at all. I basically just took the tint off, and then it just needed a little buff with the microfiber, and most of the you know, haziness came out of it, but I can always touch that back up. I'm just ready to be done with this. This quarter came out pretty nice. Same with this window. All right, so it is the next day because yesterday I forgot to film an ending, so here we are. Overall, it's not perfect, but I think for an at-home job, did a pretty good job. Plus, I mean, I'm going to get these things tinted at some point in the near future anyway, so I think it's good enough to where the tint shop shouldn't have any problems. But overall, if you're going for that fishbowl look, I definitely say I'd recommend.